Now on 101.1 FM and 1310 AM.
It's Saturday, January 9th. Good morning. I'm Deborah Ryder. Right now in Ottawa, it's partly cloudy skies and -6 degrees, and looking like overcast skies continue in Smith Falls and -7 degrees there. Here's what's making news in Ottawa and the Valley. Public Health Ontario says there are 154 recorded COVID-19 cases in Ottawa as of Friday, 45 in the Eastern Ontario Health Unit, 7 in Leeds, Granville, Lanark, and 12 in the Renfrew County District, with the highest record to date, 44,249 cases of COVID-19 across Ontario. 29 more people have died from COVID-19 complications.
We're in a desperate situation, that from Premier Doug Ford, after the province reported more than 4,000 new cases of the virus for the first time yesterday. Ford sounded the alarm yesterday, saying when you see the new COVID modeling when it's released Tuesday, it's going to be a wake-up call.
If we don't have the cooperation of the people, this is going to get out of hand. I just can't stress it enough. Please, just follow the protocols. We're in a desperate situation, and when you see the modeling, you'll fall off your chair. Everything is on the table right now.
It appears Ford had no time to waste. A source is telling that the Premier met with his cabinet after that news conference to talk more potential lockdown measures. No word on what the additional measures are or when they could be released. When it comes to a curfew like Quebec, where an overnight curfew was just enacted, Ford has said he'll have to see where the numbers go. As for the modeling, it hasn't been released yet because the province is still waiting on some data to come in. The latest case numbers will be coming out this morning. I'm Michelle Morton.
The Ottawa Police Guns and Gangs Unit is asking any witnesses to come forward to identify 2 possible suspects following shots fired in the 300 block of York Street nearby to King Edward. It happened just after 11 last night. Police say it was a targeted shooting. So far, no injuries reported. Monaghan Mushrooms is recalling its Belgrove brand whole white mushrooms. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says the product may be contaminated with the bacteria that causes botulism. The mushrooms were sold in Ontario in 227-gram packages with a best before date of January 15th, 2021. Anyone who has them should either throw them out or return them back to the store where they were bought. There have been no reports of any illnesses linked to the mushrooms as of yet. However, the bacteria can cause a variety of symptoms ranging from facial paralysis, slurred speech, to blurred vision, and in the most severe cases, death. The struggling Raptors got back in the win column last night despite missing one of their key stars. Take a listen.
The team was without Kyle Lowry last night, who didn't play due to personal reasons, and at first, it looked like the Raps were trailing 35-19 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, but Toronto put on a clinic, shooting 58.2% from the field as they dismantled Sacramento 144-123. The 144 points in regulation is a franchise record. Norm Powell, who got the start in place of Lowry, dropped 22 points. The addition of Powell to the starters wasn't the only change Nick Nurse made. He also sat struggling big man Aaron Baines, and Nurse says there's something to going smaller.
Again, we're able to switch and do a much better job of keeping it, just making the possession so much harder.
The team is back at it Sunday against the Warriors. From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, I'm Maria St. Aubin.
City News Time, 10:04 for Ottawa and the Valley. Today's high is -3 and the low is -10. I'm Deborah Ryder. For news anytime, follow us online at ottawa.citynews.ca.
You're listening to a repeat broadcast. This is City News on 101.1 FM and 1310 AM. It's time to talk back on the Rob Snow Show. Have your say and call now. 613-750-1310. Many questions for you. The day after those extraordinary scenes out of Washington yesterday. Does that qualify, in your opinion, as a coup? Was that an attempted coup d'etat yesterday? Incited by President Trump, is he to blame? That's another question. Okay, is there any doubt in your mind that he's to blame? He instigated it. He lit the match, poured the gasoline on the fire. This one, are you shocked? Are you shocked? Or surprised that this happened yesterday? Does it shock you that this even happened yesterday? I heard it over and over and over again on television yesterday, flipping between all the cable news networks. Well, nobody should be surprised by this, but I was surprised. I was shocked. But the people on television keep telling me, well, you should have seen this coming. I was shocked. I really couldn't believe it. What about you? What about you? Or did you think that something like that was bound to happen? 750-1310, 750-1310, 613-750-1310. What should happen to Trump now? Early this morning, he issued a statement. Well, it was through a spokesperson because his social media accounts were suspended. But he is now promising an orderly transition. He refuses to give up on this idea that the election was stolen from him. But should he be removed from office? Should the Congress try and remove him from office, or Pence and the cabinet try to remove him from office, which, as I understand it, is what's involved with invoking the 25th Amendment? I'm no expert in the nuts and bolts of all of that. Or do you say, it's 13 days, let's just see what happens over the next 13 days? Fingers crossed. And seriously, what's wrong with some of these people, these diehard Trump supporters? I mean, the lunatic fringe, okay? That it would come to this. Storming the Capitol, right? In fur and horns and face paint. Do you think some of these people may have been radicalized on the internet, in the echo chambers of Facebook, in the echo chambers of Twitter and Reddit, or whatever the case might be? Could it have something to do with social media, Facebook, Twitter, for example? I'm just putting it out there. 750-1310, 750-1310, 613-750-1310. John, good morning, John. You're on the air, sir.
Good morning, Rob. Just to let you know, right now I'm not driving. I'm in a car heading back to Canada,
okay.
And with my son.
Yeah.
We were there yesterday, actually, and we were there actually. My son has a government job.
Oh, okay.
And but just to answer, in my opinion, to see the amount of people that were there. I mean, common sense dictates, which common sense hasn't really been part of the vernacular down in the States, especially around the White House for the last 4 years. But common sense dictates to have that many people there took some organization. It had to be. You just don't have that many people just show up on a whim and say, hey, what are you doing this morning? No, let's go grab a coffee and go up to the Capitol. It doesn't happen. It was scary. I mean, it was very scary.
Right. So when you say, so you're on your way back from DC now, you're saying, yes, John, right? Yeah. Now, when you say you were there, you didn't go there to be part of this. You just you just happened to be in the city, is what you're saying.
We happened to be in the city.
All right.
And we were. I mean, we were a far distance away, but at the same time, you could see it very clearly what was happening.
Okay.
I, like everybody else who was watching TV, I think the moment that was very polarizing for me, myself, was when you saw that one person walking through the Capitol building with a Confederate flag. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think there's some ghosts that got woken up there yesterday.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's terrifying. I mean, I remember the gunman on Parliament Hill. I mean, that scared the hell out of everybody. And to see something like this, that large of a crowd, it's just, there were media. I saw media outlets there that were packing up their stuff and getting the hell out of Dodge.
There's some people in the crowd were assaulting reporters, destroying news gathering equipment. Very violent, right? Do you think that was a coup attempt? Would you say it qualifies as a coup attempt?
Well, I've been hearing that word off and on this morning, and I can't really say that it was a coup attempt because it was organized to an extent of, hey, everybody show up at the front steps of the Capitol. And I think that was as far as the organization of what happened yesterday went. I think, as for a coup,
Okay.
it's kind of.
You think that may be a bit of a stretch? Maybe a bit of a stretch. Yeah. Okay. Were you shocked? People on television kept saying, "Well, we shouldn't be shocked. Should have saw this coming. Of course, it was going to end like this."
Well, I think people should be more than shocked. They should be devastated in the fact that, this is a very this is a massive, huge country that holds dear to their democracy and to their freedom, and to see it polarized and basically stomped all over, it is a terrifying thing. It's
right.
The average American who is law-abiding, pays their taxes, does everything. Same thing up here in Canada. We all pay our taxes and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, we need to stand back and really kind of, this is where we live, and democracy has to rule. And when democracy is threatened, then things have to change, I think. And I think you can see by Trump's the statement that he made that it'll be an easy transition now. I think maybe Donald Trump got a little bit scared yesterday.
Well, I don't know. I just wonder if somebody went to him and said, "Look, the vice president is with us in the cabinet. We have most of the cabinet, and we're ready to remove you from office."
Well, I know you brought up the 25th.
Right.
And I know I'm on borrowed time here, and I know you got other listeners. But to do the 25th Amendment, to evoke that was done after the Kennedy assassination. I'm a bit of a history buff.
Right.
And what happens is with the 25th Amendment, it's basically due to the fact that if the president has become ill, if he's in a coma,
if he's incapacitated,
yeah. That's what it can do. Now, if the entire cabinet does stand up and the vice president, as Mike Pence, turns around and everybody's in complete agreement, then the 25th Amendment, yes, that can completely go through. Actually, it can go through very quickly. But on the other hand, it does have a bit of a safety loop for the president. The president can also sit there and say, no, I don't accept it, and get out of my office.
Look at me, I'm just fine. Look at me, I'm just fine. Right? I'm not incapacitated, and then it's up to, I guess, a court would have to figure it all out. But
yeah,
okay, and if that's what's involved, then is that ever going to be settled in 13 days? So why not just wait it out, right? Okay, thank you, John. I'm glad you're okay.
Well, we're just looking forward to having Cindy's when we get home.
All right, good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, good call to get things going. Let's go to Mark. 750-1310. There's a line available for you in the talkback hour this morning. Ottawa South. Mark, good morning. Yeah, good morning, Mark. Yeah.
Anytime.
Was it a coup, Mark? What do you think?
The real coup was Trump phoning the Georgia Secretary of State and trying to intimidate him to commit treason and overturn the will of his voters. That's the real coup. Anytime a leader is voted out of office and they're able to stay in office, the country is no longer a democracy. And the most significant part of Trump's presidency has been the period since November 3rd when he has been making this effort, because he's been attempting to end America as a democracy. We've had bad presidents before, but none have ever done this. And I would argue that this makes him the worst president in American history. It's the most important period of his presidency to study. I hope every single crack investigative journalist in Washington and beyond, and every historian will focus in on it. Because in order to overturn the election, he needed to get more than Georgia to reverse sabotage its electoral outcome. He must have made other calls to other secretaries of state. Do recordings of them exist? Let them be preserved. Let them come out. Even if staff inside the White House have to lie to him and not carry out orders to cover up this stuff and destroy it. Carl Bernstein made a very good point an interview with CNN, those 10 former secretaries of defense that wrote that letter, that editorial, advising the military to be kept out of any political dispute. Why did they do that? Why did they feel they had to? Even though they're former secretaries of defense, they still have contacts inside the government, inside the defense establishment, and they would know information that the media does not, where they told things, alerted to the possibility that Trump was genuinely considering the possibility of using the military to stay in power. And the idea, see, the real coup, as I said,
Right. Okay.
was him phoning the secretaries of state. And I can't believe he just did it.
Were you shocked that it came to that yesterday?
I thought there was going to be a riot.
Right.
I was shocked that they were able to penetrate the Capitol building itself. I always assumed that it had stronger defenses, and I always assumed that it had made contingency plans. It wouldn't surprise me to see Trump provoke a riot and then use the emergency act for the thing that he's provoked to declare emergency and then to call in the military.
Right. Okay, we're gonna jump here, Mark. Thank you, because the phone lines are jammed this morning. But I appreciate your call, Mark. Thank you. 1017 Talkback Hour. Where obviously the big story is what happened in Washington yesterday, and I want your take on it at 750-1310 here on City News.
This winter, you can choose hibernation mode or power-up adventure mode in a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Adventure mode to make fresh tracks in the snow. Hibernation mode to take as many naps as you can in a day. In adventure mode, you'll be breathing fresh outdoor air. In hibernation mode, you'll be breathing through your mouth because something smells off. Possibly whatever's growing in the back of the fridge. Choose your setting.
Bring on winter in a Subaru. Hurry now and contact your local Subaru dealer for our winter on bonus.
This ad isn't funny or overly clever. There's no jingle, witty banter, or talk of some sort of clearance sale. Because like heart disease and stroke, which claim a life every 5 minutes, this message is deadly serious. At Heart and Stroke, we're funding and discovering medical breakthroughs to keep you and your loved ones alive. But we need all the help we can get. Go to heartandstroke.ca today. And together, we'll beat heart disease, beat stroke, and beat as one.
Ottawa's Hybrid Construction has built their reputation for their unique approach in designing, planning, and building custom homes and home renovations. Today, they are an emergency service and response company for plumbing repairs, roof repairs, electrical work, or even structural repairs. Go to highbridgeconstruction.com, click on Contact, and if you require, they can assist with financing. For emergency repairs to your home, take the High Bridge.
Hi, my name is Mike Machado, a licensed sales rep with Paul Rushforth Real Estate. Let me tell you why I joined Paul Rushforth. I grew up playing sports, and I know there's nothing more powerful than a team. I have all the support of the team, all the appointments are supplied, and lots of hands-on training I need to succeed at high levels. No more chasing business and being loaded down with admin work. If you're thinking of making a move, find out why this opportunity is unique. To learn more, go to joinourrealestateteam.ca.
PaulRushforth.com. On January 10th, the Today Show stopper at TSC will be the Vitamix 7500 low-profile blender with a 64 and 32-ounce container for wet and dry ingredients, plus lids, tampers, and 2 recipe books. With its high-performance power and space-saving design, it makes short work of baking dough, chunky soups, and perfect purees. Watch for this exclusive bundle on January 10th when it's the Today Show stopper. Shop TSC.ca, today's shopping choice.
We believe in being accountable to you, the listener, which is why we're a member of the Canadian Broadcast Standards Council. As a member, we're committed to upholding the highest standards of broadcasting and adhering to specific codes of conduct. If you have a comment on what you've heard, contact us or visit the CBSC's website, cbsc.ca. We'll respond to your concerns and send you information on the council and its codes.
You're listening to a repeat broadcast.
This is City News
On 1011 FM and 1310 AM. Talk back. Hello.
On the Rob Snow Show. The phone lines are open at 613-750-1310.
Now, the Rob Snow Show continues. And just before we get back to the phone lines, we're talking about the insurrection yesterday in Washington, D.C. What should happen now? The latest case numbers are out for COVID-19 for Ontario. It's a new record by a long shot, and it's more than 3,500 cases province-wide. 3,519 cases across Ontario, and once again, the usual suspects leading the way. Toronto, Peel, York, Windsor, Waterloo, now a hotspot. Waterloo, 175. Durham region, like Oshawa area, 174 cases there. 164 here in Ottawa. Is about double the number reported yesterday. 36 in the Eastern Ontario Health Unit, in Cornwall, Hawkesbury, that area, and 10 in Renfrew County. Renfrew County Health Unit, which is a sizable increase. So it's 10:21 here. Right back to the phones on what happened yesterday in Washington. Dave in the West End. Dave.
Hi, Rob.
Yes, sir. How do you feel?
Well, you know,
you must be so proud as a Trump supporter today. Dave.
No, I'm sad actually.
Well,
I'm very sad.
Yeah.
Well, for instance, you know, they've tried everything to get him out, and even down to the 25th Amendment. You know, I know about.
Oh, they tried everything to get him out. They voted him out. How about that?
Yeah, well, they did. So they can't wait 20 days till it's over. I mean, they're still at it. I know about the 25th Amendment because I think Biden has a little bit of dementia. I recognize it because I'm sitting beside someone that has it, and I know the signs. And I think before the 4 years are up, it'll be used, perhaps. I think that was their plan to get her as president, not him.
Yeah. No, let's not play the distraction game.
Well, okay. The thing is,
it wasn't Biden supporters who were, smashing windows and, sitting in the Speaker of the House of Representatives office and the dais in the Senate and wearing, fur outfits with horns and everything else.
But how do you know? I watch CNN and Fox simultaneously.
Right.
All summer long.
Yeah.
All summer long. It wasn't the Trump supporters that burned down a police station.
Yeah. Now, what if it was yesterday, say, 10,000 black people were doing that yesterday? What do you think the police response would be, Dave?
The same as it was
yesterday. You think it'd be exactly the same?
Yes.
Come on. You don't really believe that, do you?
Beating black people? That would be the end of the country.
There were 52 people arrested yesterday out of all of that. A riot and insurrection that left 4 people dead. You don't think more people were arrested during the protest over the George Floyd deaths?
Oh, I don't know. They
I believe the number was. I believe the number I saw was 1,400 arrests.
Well, when you burn a church down, somebody should be arrested.
Okay. Well, if you burn a church down, how about if you storm? How about if you storm the United States Congress, sir?
Well,
what should be the penalty for that? Some might call that treason, and you should be shot.
Well, that's quite possible. But this didn't start yesterday, Ron.
No?
No, this started maybe a couple of years
ago. So were you surprised that happened yesterday?
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
You know why I was surprised?
Right.
Because there were so many people there.
Mm-hmm.
And with that many people, they didn't have to do that. And I don't know who the people are. All it's asked for now is an investigation. They got to investigate this thing and get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
And people like me and Mark should pull our horns in and see really. I lay this. If there were 10 journalists in the United States as good as you, this wouldn't have happened.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the compliment, Dave. Again, I'm going to say to you, whenever you say something like that, I appreciate it, but I'll always come back with, if it's up to me, we're all doomed. Okay. Thank you, though. Barry. Good morning, Barry.
Morning, Rob.
Yeah, Barry. Was that a coup yesterday? A coup incited by President Trump?
Well, if every second or third person in that crowd had an AR-15, then I would have called it a coup. But as it was just a political demonstration.
A demonstration.
And I think that with Trump inciting it and all the other times he's incited stuff like this going on, and plus what one of your former callers this morning said about the coup really happened when he called the Georgia legislature and wanted the votes to be changed. I think that's when the coup started, and I think all that evidence should be brought forward.
Right.
I think Mike Pence should invoke the 25th Amendment and
try to get rid of him.
They should get rid of him, because look at the way the Georgia votes went the other day. The Democrats won all that and won control of the Senate. So I don't think the Republican Party is going to be too happy about all Trump's influence over the votes and all the disturbance that he made over that. I think probably helped the Democrats win in Georgia. And I don't think there are a lot of Republicans, the vast majority of Republicans aren't going to be happy with Trump, and I don't think they'll want him to represent them again.
Were you, I know, I think where you and I disagree, you think it was a protest that got out of hand. Were you shocked, though? A lot of people were saying, well, what did you expect? It was inevitable. Of course something like this would happen. Is that what you think, or were you shocked that it actually happened?
I said before, Rob, on your show that Trump's a moron and he's dangerous, and I've been waiting for something like this all along. I was even